Both teams claimed their map picks in a little bit of sketchy fashion. 13-10 on Anubis for Reason, and a 13-9 on Ancient for Badass. And that brings us to a coin flippy Mirage between these two sides. It's Boggs and Pineapple Phillips in the commentary gantry. And no dual Berettas this time for Badass. They want long-range duels on Mirage, and I understand exactly where they're coming from. USP and Kit for Shane with a smoke as well. P250 raid boss for Beaky, flash for Grape, a smoke already used. Ties it down to 1 HP. That's more than he needs to at least fight and stay alive. If he can get a dink, I think he's done his job. The bomb's gone down. It's a 5-man post plant for Reason as Badass were playing retake A.
5v5s are always scrappy and chaotic. A flank coming through from Frankie and Beaky aggressive in CT spawn with a trio of players. I'll actually fall back and go for jungle instead. That's the right read. Right is not for them. Dangerous and ramp beheaded. Behind is Frankie. Start a second, a triple. Does not expect Frankie, and the defuse is coming through in the chaos. Heiza finds one, but he has traded Grape in a 1v1. The kit picked up for snav. He's gonna ninja, and Grape's gonna ball it. Denies the left, right. It's all he needs. Reason when what was indeed a chaotic pistol, but it was a very streaky one as well. Back and forth. Frankie finding a trio on the flank. Heiza, you mentioned, on 1 HP, finds a pair of kills as the attempted ninja comes through, and Grape a triple as well to win Reason the pistol.
Yeah, good pistol round work from the T side, and Reason win a critical pistol. The team that has won the opening pistol round has, I believe, Nate, won each map. So, actually, no, Badass won the opening pistol on each. They just got forced right back. The first team to win 2 in a row has won each map.
And it should be an easy 2-0 here for a reason, given the fact that there's USPs and P2Ks for 80% of Badass gaming. Frankie, the lone person with a pistol, being a deagle, and to be frank, he's the only person you'd want on the deagle. He's found doubles consistently 2 times on Ancient. Let's see if find that again. He has a stellar track record to hold with a pistol in CS2. Slow one for Reason. Go up catwalk. This is the wrong call. All 5 defenders are here. They're hoping to goad in such a play. Dane on site, spots the head of one, but does not get the kill. Just eats the flash. Eagle is now spotted as well. Dane tagged. Air finally taken down. They're still going to continue on. No, they're going to go up connector. Right call. Beaky. A pair from boosted up. They'll fall back, and in the meanwhile, the troops have taken a bomb plant forthcoming. The last 3 in Consti, Shane, and Snav should not be long for this world unless they really try to save Reason. A second in a row. This is what you mentioned the trend was.
Will Badass be able to bucket? That's the other question. Slow. Badass just playing for exits here. Shane will get nothing. Unless you want to count death. I don't want to count death. I'm fine not counting that as a reward. Snav just now the last alive. He's somehow just slipped the gap.
Terrorists win.
Underpass with a P2K.
Yeah.
All weapons. Very cool.
Exactly the gun I want to take into the first gun round.
Yep. M4 is coming through for Badass. All A1Ss, might I add. Utility somewhat lacking. And Kit, notably lacking. Reason, a bonus. Understandable given their flawless record in round number 2. This lack of a kit is definitely worrying me. Frankie and Shane as well, lacking helmets. Could be caught by the Galils or the MAC-10 of Heiza. Reason, early lean towards A and possibly just an outright A execute. So it looks like they're lining up utility. Bomb is already here as well. They have 1 player lurking in JDubs top middle. It's going to be an A site play. Shane spotting. Throw down a smoke. Will these duels be given? They will snap through the smoke. Finds one good nade onto Shane in response, but Shane can still jump up at a moment's notice to delay a plant.
Peekaboo tactics, but it's Dare to get the next one onto Beaky, trying to charge into Stairs. Dare's still alive, but JDubs and Dane, Grape also adding kills. 2v2 now as Snav equalizes things. The bomb yet to cross, but JDubs still out in middle. He's now in a 1v2 with one coming up catwalk. That is Frankie. Does he slip by the gaze of Frankie? Does he expect Frankie here as well? The bomb is down towards Stairs. JDubs knows where it is. He has a good amount of time, but he's got to get fast. Frankie who spots the gun. JDubs none the wiser. And Badass will able to get on the guns rounds early. They'll shut down Reason's bonus. Nice little three-piece from Snav there, but a bit costly of a round overall from the CT side, losing 3 of their 5 players. I think they would have very much liked a cleaner round out of that one.
Yeah, reinvested basically everything. All of their winnings. Reason as well, able to reinvest by virtue of that clean second, as I mentioned before. Dangerous on a Galil, facilitates more utility. JDubs lacking utility, but does have a rifle at least. Back to more of the same for Badass. A player spotting B, a player spotting A, and heavy middle emphasis is the go this time around. One in bottom mid by bench, one in window, and one on catwalk. Meanwhile, Reason have shifted gears, pressuring B, having a player A just covering their bases. Bomb slightly leaning towards B as well.
It's still a back C lane, though. So it's not exactly a fast commit. It's a very good rotational tactic, and it's actually going to go towards middle with the bomb instead. A little bit of damage, a lot of bit of damage done on the Consti as he takes some shots through snipers. Very slow, methodical mid-round for Reason with one up Con. Getting ready to go in on towards the A side. It's 5v5 here, 42 on the clock. Utility getting sparse for the T side, and they're ready to throw it all. Shane has some. Knees over on CT. Molotov out to ward off ramp as Snav goes down. The early contact with Dangerous out towards Con. Consti will shut down that push. 4v4, but the A side telegraphed. No time to rotate off. Consti needs to hold the line. Shane at least gets one. Dare is here on rotation, but the smokes will come through. The bomb plant should be as well. Nade will do nothing at all. Dare on the stairs will stop the plant before Beaky can trade. 12 seconds. Time is imperative here for Reason. A fake plant. Get the bomb down, boys. You've got to get it down. It's stopped by Shane. And now it's up to Beaky, who has no time. Badass win the round. Reason's hesitation. It costs them dearly.
Waffling about a little bit too long, too paranoid, too afraid. Caught. Time getting away from them. Badass doing well to bide their time as well. Props to them. The money now all over the place. Beaky saving, has only $600 in the bank now. Everybody else can't really justify an investment either. I would have said a pistol buy and a push towards B might have been the call. Instead, it's going to be a pistol save with just Glocks in that 1 AK. And the very same play. Push in towards the apartments. Is there a Molotov to stall them, though? Does Frankie have one? No, Dare has a nade. Instead, he'll throw that in, but slowed down markedly. Reason. Instead, going to delay it a little bit longer in hopes that that push goaded out all the utility on this defense. There is not much left. There's no Molotovs left for the CT side. Frankie backside will spot and exchange broadsides with Frankie. Or Dangerous, excuse me.
Frankie doing a little bit of chip just through the wall. 16 damage onto Dane. Frankie looking for more here. Highs up the ladder, spotted and removed. Frankie gets Grape on the site and will have some help from Dare. USP out to get next, and Snav comes in as the cavalry. 3-2 lead now for Badasses. The CT side is picking up pace on the gun rounds, but Reason can buy up again here. They've done some decent damage, all things considered. Although, can't say it hasn't been back and forth and scrappy for both teams throughout, and that has not changed on map number 3.
It is not, and again, defensiveness has not changed either. Both teams keen on staying alive and just holding their lines. Reason another compromised investment heading into round number 6. 2 Galils and 3 AKs. Consti aggressive underpass. The spray transfer not good. The Galil spots underpass as well. Constant does not find any clean fights. Instead, it's Frankie to do it all on Catwalk. 3 kills. Leaves just JDubs over towards A. He's out. He has some control, sure. He's not going to be gifted any 1v1s. Everybody from Badass falling back and looking to group up as well. Shane can't stay towards CT. This Constant, or Shane and Frankie, excuse me, towards CT, and Constant top middle might have spotted the bomb. I'm not sure. Frankie does him in. 10 kills for Frankie on the CT side by the end of round number 6. A monstrous 4K off the back of the triple in middle, and the final player lurking in jungle. Halfway mark crested now. We enter round number 7, and Badass, a solid lead that they're starting to build upon now. 3 survive means they can build up a little bit of CT economy, and Reason, no bomb plant, means they're going to be on a half buy yet again.
A half buy is ugly for Reason, and this lets Badass get out to a stronger lead if they can convert this anti-half buy round, which theoretically they should have limited trouble doing, Nate. They just got to follow their protocols, really, is what it is. Don't overextend, don't give free fights, just like that. Although it's traded back nicely, so you cannot fault them for that one. Grape, the last one alive, does get one parting gift onto Shane, but with no bomb, it's a pretty much moot point to the round. A little bit of economic damage, but will it go anywhere? Doesn't seem to be at this point of the round, or even of the game. There's a good amount of money on the CT side. One more kill is not going to completely conflate their economy. Grape's taking a sweet time. He wants a kill, and he's not afraid to spend some clock to do it. He's got nothing to lose here. The team with everything to lose is his opposition. And now I think Badass are playing the right way against this pistol. Frankie will flank it out from behind. It is perfect. Wait for him to make a move and get a little bit of info probing. Well done against the pistols there in the end from Badass. A little more expensive than they would have liked, however.
Yeah. A Deagle found one more. That would be that fine line towards actually doing economic damage. Doesn't quite get there, but still 2 is okay, all things considered. Especially with the bomb dropped as it was. 5-2. Op in hand for Consti now. No op for the T side of Reason. Where's Consti going? Out middle. He gets the jump. Catwalk, he's spotted. He's also blind. He'll fall back and set up in a solid position with the op. Adjustment from Reason is a call out. A nice double nade onto Shane, but it's not enough to finish him off. He'll find the opener on the Grape. The Flames beckon him into the smoke, but he's still alive. Support from Dare is nothing, though. He just falls. Shane doesn't live for much longer either. Consti posted on the cross from Catwalk, looking to tie it back up with an opening, but no one has crossed as of yet. Snav behind the Flames towards a ramp is hoping to find something before the bomb hits dirt. Jumping up, he's now exposed tremendously. He spots one, can't get the kill. Now things become awkward. His teammates have rotated around. Consti's in window. Frankie is in jungle. Reason looking to get control. Consti, though, a menace with the op finds one, and Badass grouping in window are looking to go for a retake as a unit.
Unit retake's a good idea here, Nate. Gives them something a little bit more to fight with. JDubs will shut it down. He's got 3 on the round, and it's all up to Frankie, who can do just about nothing to salvage this one unless he's gifted some opportunities.
JDubs has the op as well. Big round for Reason to win. A big gun for them to steal. Badass have built up a bit of an economy to work with, a little bit of a fund to use in the case of difficult times. This is one such difficult time. They'll invest. Frankie can drop 1, maybe 2 rifles, maybe an op and a rifle.
Would you say it's a war chest?
Maybe.
Well, they're able to buy
There's
back up again. The op is back in the hands of Consti, which is a consolation for Badass, not wanting to lose that opportunity. Now the other question is, can they find a way to get back on the score sheet in a positive manner? Some confidence there gained by Reason. They're first on the guns after the 0-2 start. And a slow BC lead. That's a great nade, though. Well timed by Frankie. I think he saw it on the jump spot. That's going to be my guess. Or else he just has impeccable timing.
Slow round, minute 15. All of Reason leaning towards B, but they haven't outright committed yet. Smoke window will deny information. They keep Dare in towards ladder a little longer, but are actually pivoting back for mid control rather than an outright play. Steps are likely heard, and Beaky wants to be a spear point, wants to be an opener. Snav though in window spamming drops Grape. That's a good one to find. That makes a Reason all the more uncomfortable.
The op is still here for Consti. And he's going to look to have a show. There's one. Burns a little bit, but he's able to get more out of this round. Surely, never mind. Beaky answers back with the op, but Dare is there for the trade on Cat. Beaky and JDubs making something out of this round, but they have to still be aware of Catwalk. Beaky shoots over the crouch of Dare. And JDubs lurking out towards middle. Nothing he can do in the time allotted. 7 on the clock. Just trying to die before time. Maybe save this AK, but now they know where he is. At least he does a little bit of damage onto Frankie. There still is enough money to reinvest for Badass. Might be a little light on weapons, but they can still get the job done. More importantly, they've gotten up to 6 on the board. They've at least secured a half even at 6 all if they lose every last round of this half. It's not a bad spot to be in. They can grow this significantly. And they forced a timeout out of Reason, too. They're first of 3 with 3 rounds to go in the half.
Yes, they have. It's a rare timeout. We have not seen many in this series. Both teams can go for reinvestments. Of course, Badass should given their victory. Will they have the op for Consti? Yes, they will. It's on the ground right there. Same, probably not going to be the case for Beaky unless he really wants to go for it. Going to take all the money in his bank to get it. How keen is he really on bringing out the big green on the T side? He's pretty keen on it, evidently. Armor, a little bit of utility, and an op purchased up. And if Reason lose this round without a bomb plant, they're likely going to be on a save going into round number 11.
And that solidifies the half for Badass as well. 8-3, 8-4 at a worst case, 9-3 at a much more satisfactory scenario for Badass. Utility being dumped out towards rampant A. It's going to be a push here from Reason. They sense the Molotov in front of the smoke, but look at Dare's position. He's got all the top mid cleared out. He knows the comm's been made. 4 or 5 holding the A, and Dare is walking his way in behind. Grape up middle, spotted by Snav, and that's the first domino to fall. Dane does catch Shane, but there still is Dare. The back line, slow, steady, methodical as the bomb goes down. The round is still about to stand on its head, but Dare gets caught by Beaky! And now everything goes awry for Badass. They needed that flank to work out well, and it comes to absolutely nil.
Caught by timing, they plant for ramp, they do a 180, turn around, and the op spots him right as he goes around the corner. Smoke thrown on the bomb. At this point, they have to try to stick it amidst the chaos, but the player towards Firebox is preventing exactly that. Buying time. The nade on the smoke for good measure. JDubs finds one, but Snav a trade. 1v2, bomb all the way gone at this stage, and Heiser through the smoke fells the final player for good measure. 4-6. A remarkable turn of events, and the op picked up, double op picked up by both Heiser and JDubs. Not sure they wanted both of those weapons, yet here we are. Reason still stand a chance to tie things up at 6 a pop, and there's a tactical timeout forced out from Badass immediately after the timeout of Reason.
That double op has to be a mistake. There's no way that was intentional. It has to be a miscommunication. Sure, they're going to make the best of it. Most likely going to double peek mid with the ops. Dane and Beaky, at least 1-for-1 trade it. But it's not like Reason have the money to get rid of those ops either. That's the other problem. It's not like they're, we got 2 ops. Okay, cool. Throw one out of the map and, all right, we'll just get another AK. No, that's not possible. Can't even get a Galil. I mean, they could. No, they can't even get a Galil. They're that destitute economically. The double op is their only option. But there is one saving grace, and that is the fact that Badass are broke and on nothing but stock pistols. No investments. Although Dare's on a double eco, they're not going to go for the force buy here. They're going to go for a half. At worst, Consti, Deagle, and Armor. And they need something to buy up in the last round of the half, but Reason should be able to get 5 out of this at the very least. And as you said, a very good opportunity to tie things up at 6-all going into half number 3, or half number 2 would be absolutely massive. And, well, there's a how do you do from Dane. He picks up 2. He walks into B-Apps with an op and opens it up, causes the rotations against the rifle, or against the pistols, really, and he's just done his job. He's like, okay, I've got my 2 kills. I'm out. Peace. Bombs down. Cool. I'll group up with my boys. Maybe I'll toss this op out before the round is over and go back to an AK. If he stays in the double op, I will be very curious to see if they leave a gun in spawn for him to swap to. But regardless, the damage has been done. The round has been won by the secondary op soloing into apartments. It's a little comical there.
Yes, it is. A little wacky, a little zany. That's what you want to see in a round like this against pistols. They're hunting as well, which confuses me a bit. Frankie is going to get an AK for that reason alone.
Terrorists win.
Some question marks again. Why are you hunting pistols? Are you trying to pad stats? JDubs and Grape, excuse me? I'm not too sure.
Oh, 100%, man. It's all about them stats. Got to think of the R-dubs.
But now you have to drop some guns. R-dubs doesn't exist anymore. ESL is not a thing.
Point. That's the point. Remember when people would try and team kill you for R-dubs on defuses? Or plants? Remember those days, Nate?
No, I wasn't that old. Double op still in effect. I think there's a rifle on the ground. Maybe a Galil. But Reason. And a solid chance to find a 6th. Beaky starts it off well with the Molotov onto Dare as well. It's looking good for the T side.
Yeah, that double op, it's still alive and kicking. It's still having impact. Dane with a rifle this time, clearing up through Con unspotted. Gets a smoke right on him too, so there's no way Snav's gonna expect this positioning from Dane. Backstab, and how do you do? Shane mollied out of CT, and he gets caught by the op of JDubs. And the double op setup is working flawlessly here for Reason. Badass into complete disarray, and they have to go back for a retake here. As it is the last round of the half, there is negative incentive to save. But Highs is already here. Smokes deep, but he's ready for it. Wins that first duel, and Frankie out in mid. Shut down by the op. It's dead even at 6 apiece. We'll see you for half 2.
There's fire in the atmosphere, moving in synergy. This electricity, the power of the pioneers, tearing through history. This is our destiny. We are the power, we are the change, we are the pioneers of paradise and fame. We push it louder like hurricanes. We are the pioneers.
What looked to be a dominant first half for Badass on the defensive side instead turned right around to even footing as Reason mounted a solid comeback at the end of the first. It's Pineapple Phillips and Boggs on the mic. Both teams tied neck and neck at 6 apiece. Utility for Snav on the offense. Frankie foregoing armor. Must have dropped something for his team. Double dualies for Grape and Heiza on the other side for Reason. Early kills go both directions, 4 versus 4 secured, and bomb plant momentarily coming through. Double dualies. Quick spawn. There's 3 players here. Shane 1 caught by Heiza in response. Still even 3 versus 3. Consti in jungle though to a advantage for Badass. Right back. Great finding 1. Heiza another. Just Frankie. He's been a monster for this team in this series, but can he pull off the 1 versus 2? He's gotten the first. He knows what the second is. The Glock's belabored. Both having to reload, and Frankie critically gets away. Great low on 29 HP. He's trying to find the headshot, but with no kit, it's over. It's going to be a 7th for Badass, and Frankie's going to get the kill just for good measure. 15 kills for himself at the end of the second pistol, and a tenuous lead reestablished for Badass.
Tenuous. But they do lose 4. Will there be a force buy from their counterparts here in the blue? Would not mind seeing a force buy from Reason, just to try and counter this. They are going to go for it. Double scouts? They thought the double op worked so well on T. Why not go double scout on CT? 1 tag for Beaky. Takes a second shot, but that one was very quick. It's a little peekaboo here. Dane going to push through. Frankie's waiting for this. He's up on top. And Dane will not go all the way through. That is a wise decision. The 5-7 may be good. He doesn't have the angle advantage there. Consti tagged down as well, so that's 2 scout tags. But can they get some bags, Nate? Great. Spotted. No damage taken. Dane is flirting with death here. He is just toying with the idea of going through. And Frankie's like, oh, come on, peek me. Peek me. Come on, Batman. Peek me, Batman.
Definitely not the impression I was expecting.
Batman won't peek him.
Better than average, though, Bugs. Better than most, I would say, for you.
That one's like my pocket.
So that one's definitely like a give me, it sounds like.
That one's a pocket pick for me. I don't normally have an opportunity to use it in Counter-Strike. Unless it's like, you want to see a magic trick? I'm going to make this full buy. Disappear.
At the end there kind of lost me, I won't lie. The disappear fell off a cliff. I am a critic now because round is in a lull. Another tag for the scout. This time a bag for JDubs. Finally unseated, and Dane Jorgensen's sandwich fares no better. The Deagle spamming Snav down to 41. They need to be careful. 3 players lit rather low, bumping into each other. Badass kind of just trying to stay alive. 8 seconds left. They're going to get the plant. The spam connects right after the bomb hits dirt. Beaky gets 1. 3 versus 3. Reason are going to go for it. Spot comes in. Another tag, this time from Dare on the other side of the equation. All 3 Reason players grouping up. This is anybody's round. Heiza nice on the entry. Dare a trade, though. Grape trades back and forth, and Beaky caps off the round. A chaotic end, but Reason with their force buy do claim a rebuttal, do get a response, and they will pick up an AK as well. Defuse in, and right back to an even footing of 7-7.
So would you say they made that full buy disappear, Nate? Nice little force buy work from Reason there. And this is now the second time Reason has won a force buy on the second round of a half. Happened on Anubis, rather. And now it happens here on map number 3 of Mirage. Second timeout used by Badass. They understand the implications here. There is not much separating these two sides as we sit at 7-all. The only thing that's differentiating these two right now are the buys, or lack thereof, if you are Badass. You have a Deagle on Frankie, maybe a couple more pistols to come forward. This is prime real estate for Reason to snatch. Get a lead here, get some money on the CT side, and get ready to try and do something special, pull off the reverse sweep, or not really reverse sweep, but I guess you can call it the sandwich victory.
Yeah, you can call it that.
If you think of a better term, let me know, but that's the best I got right now.
I like sandwiches.
I do too, and I
approve.
am hungry.
I'm hungry too. Eagle for Dare. P250 for Snav. And those weapons for a reason, as you'd expect. Dare into jungle, or not jungle, excuse me, Palace peeking in. Toying with the idea of finding a 1D. Badass is biding their time. Again, scared, pensive. They'll go for a burst play eventually, I'm certain, but when do Reason figure this out? They're also playing rather passive and defaulty.
I like the passivity from Reason. They have no incentive to peek. None whatsoever, Nate. All they have to do is win these fights with their advantage firepower. That's exactly what Dane tries to do with that early little jiggle. He finds nothing for it. Now he gets one, goes for more. JDubs goes 1 for 1, but Dane at least picks up a second. Beaky comes in to help, and now the USP Orion in the hands of Dane will secure the lead for Reason. They only lose one, and they grab an AK on Beaky, so they will lose one of those SMGs, and that is not a loss, that is a gain for Reason on the CT side. And coming into this matchup, Nate, which team did we say had the utmost need of winning a map? Or a series, I should say.
Reason.
And which team looks like they want it more? To use a very common sports phrase.
Reason. Both teams play like they don't want it. I'll be honest. They play like they want it sometimes, and then they don't at others.
That is kind of accurate. But I will say Reason has taken a lot of risks on this map, and it's paid off massively.
Snaz. Another risk, such risk. Push up towards top middle. JDubs 1, JDubs 2. JDubs almost a third, ran out of ammo. Shane takes him down. A 3 versus 3 secured. Dane Joris on an MP9, though. Have to find an upgrade or a close angle to play. Moss. Better in CS2 than CSGO, but I really do. Shane, did he spot the turn getting out? I don't think so. MP9, though, finally spotted by one, yet it was still indoor. No, it's Beaky instead on the AK to find 2. The third is lit. It should be a 9th round for Reason, barring anything crazy from Consti. Well, Consti has found the first. The second and third are going to be far more difficult. They're playing together. 2 similar angles, yet 2 reactionary ones that work well together. I like this setup from Beaky and Grape. Know they have the bomb. Now they're second guessing it. Giving it up. An opportunity, a very slim one for Consti.
Incredibly minuscule. Microscopic even. But he might be able to pull it off. Microbes can topple elephants, Nate. So maybe Consti can topple this round. Never mind, he's saving.
He got the bomb and then chose to save. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that is an interesting decision, especially considering his team will not really have any money. Maybe he doesn't want to risk dying after time, too. That's the other thing. But are they going to force around this AK now? Because Consti's money is completely destroyed. He's far out of sync with his teammates, so what's the call here? I don't want to see Badass waste their last time out here. And yes, I would use the word waste. They're still within striking distance.
Squander.
You don't need a timeout to figure this out.
No.
Such a weird Mirage game.
Hasn't been quick either. It's been slow. It's been painful. It's been like pulling teeth for both teams.
Yeah, it's been incredibly... I want to use methodical, but now we get a little bit of explosion here as Dare and Snav are going to even things up at 2 apiece. Some good kills coming through from the Deagles, and that's going to trim that CT economy down a little bit. Not quite a lot, but it's still something worth looking at. And Shane, with that AK no armor, might be able to do some serious damage too.
Maybe.
Now, they've left B open.
B and A open. They're literally just sitting
What is
in middle.
this call?
They have a player in ladder fast rotation. You're probably going to hear the steps if they run down. One player in window, spotting. And a third now grouping up. They want to retake middle, take some sort of map control, I suppose. But in the process, give away the rest of the map. Badass equally overthinking it, double stacking in towards apartments, and putting a third in towards Palace to try and sell a fake in Snav. But in the meanwhile, Grape has now gotten a flank, and while Shane is watching for it, the jig is going to be up sooner rather than later. Oh my god, timing could not be worse. Speechless. Speechless.
Oh.
There's nothing they can put words to that. The layers of overthinking, incredulity.
Incredulity?
Is that how you say it? I was gonna say like
I believe
it's
so.
a word I know. It's a word that I have not actually said though. I don't think ever.
Yeah, I know the writing portion of it.
Say incredulous. Yeah, incredulity.
Yeah, incredulous, but incredulity, I believe.
Yeah, it's a word I seldom see or seldom hear. But
I knew what you were going for.
I don't want to use some fighting words, but I really do. At this point, ugly round.
That was a bit of luck from both sides. They got some Deagle kills, and then they got some... Holy moly, that's the best timing I've ever seen kills. But at least for reason, they've got to 10. That puts them in striking distance of this match now. Lots of mid control, though, for Badass. They have all this space, and JDubs pops through and denies the first. That is Snav to fall. There still is Shane up in Catwalk, but... Or not Catwalk, but Connector. The other thing, the opposite of Catwalk. He just gets flashed, eats that, and stares at a white screen for a matter of moments. As Badass work their way back around towards A, which is understandable considering the control that they have right now available. But Nate, it does start to feel like Reason are starting to establish a stranglehold over this map. They're getting better and better as time goes on, at least being able to hold on to rounds. And, well,
Like what I'm saying, 25 seconds left. Badass need to make the play out. They're out of the choke point, but they sell players to disentrench. One under balcony is first. Dangerous taken down. Good start. Players CT now to worry about. One taken, but the second to fall. It's Beak jumping up. He's beheaded. Good shot from Dare. 4 versus 2 secured, and Heiza sent headed for the hills. Grape was already in said hills. Both on beat. Both going to try and save their guns for the following. Badass find a way to clap back with an 8th, still trailing by 2, but it's still anybody's map.
anybody's map. And anybody's match by extension. This is the third and final map, which essentially means this whole series rests on a best of 1.
Terrorists win.
Nice and clean for Badass, too. They keep 4 alive, which is essential, because if they would have lost this next round, then they would have been broke again, and being broke, they would have had nothing to go into the next round, which would have given essentially a free match point to Reason. I don't know. Mirage can be scrappy. It can be ugly. This one is beyond street fight. It's almost like a rooster fight, Nate.
Yeah. Second, what is a rooster fight? I don't know by that name normally.
I figured I wouldn't get clipped.
Yeah, that's fair. No, you're good. You're good. Yeah. Definitely checks out. Trade in the early goings. JDubs for 1. They're a second. 4 versus 4. Minute 25 left in the round, and as we know, probably about a minute of a dead air to fill. Badass pensively make their site choice known. Looks like A is going to be the choice.
Only one here. Double up on Cat. There's a bricks boost, actually. And Heiza's got no help. Beaky's kind of running for, but they're getting mid control this late into the round. There really hasn't been any sort of contact yet. Smoke's now coming through. A wall down. And Beaky might be on time to CT. Heiza sprays back towards Palace, and he gets the spam on a Consti. That is a boon for Reason. Dane with flashbangs prepped. Heiza still harassing from jungle, but Dare's going to try and get the bomb down, and Snav will ensure that he can get it easy and nice and smooth. 3v3 on the retake. 2 kits available, but only flashbangs, so no Molotovs to clear out any angles. Double up CT, 1 back towards default. It's not going to be the hardest thing, but that smoke makes it very awkward because nobody's going to expect Frankie behind this. Heiza 1, Beaky trades up to Snav, and he drops to Beaky. Nice rifling from Beaky, wow, and Reason up to 11. The bomb plant will keep Badass in a bye. That's the one thing they have going for him. It is costly too, but Reason have enough to reinvest. 2 more rounds is all they need, and 3 again the gap that Badass need to climb.
A small gap turns into a gaping cavern. A gulch. They do at least have a rifle by Badass. Way into it. Consti has his op. No op to challenge from Reason. Badass. Again, an emphasis. The bomb is picked up. They turn back immediately. A lot of just doubling back. Indecision from Badass. I feel like there's a lot more in flux than the roster. There's much more in the behind the scenes that's being changed. Minute 20 left. Here we go, doubling back it again towards middle. Finally gonna go for control. Finally going to vie for some map control. It has been left largely uncontested by Reason, although it looks like they are doubling up Catwalk, posting 1 top con.
It's all going to come down to a fast push. The usual 50-60 seconds have ticked by. JDubs 1 and almost 2. As now the con play comes to fruition, 2 coming in through A main, and somehow Badass find a way to stall out when they have a prime opportunity to bust on through. Consti, no smoke there for CT. Just going to scope in onto it anyways. Heiza where somebody can be in Sniper's Nest. Just keeping an eye on his backside. Consti's up! 1 from the bricks, and 2 as Dane will get the dink, but not enough for the kill. Grape and Heiza both so low, and Dare will shut down the ladder. All up to Grape. Got a pluck from one, and now on the long flank gets the final kill, and Badass will trade 1 back and get back on the board with Reason not able to buy up into this next round either. A prime opportunity for Badass to close this to within 1. And overtime still not secured for either side. This is still winnable in regulation for Badass.
Yes, it is. It would take a clean sweep. 4 in a row. They can pull it off. 9-11. Looking for Consti, spotting players in window. It should be a quick round for Badass. It's just pistols, light force buy for a reason. As they're trying desperately to grasp on to their leader, maintain their lead, but seems like there'll be no such saving grace for them. 2 Deagles, an MP9, and a 3 versus 5. Beaky in the smoke is going to wait for it to expire and then jump out. Spot nothing. I spotted 1, but it's also spotted in turn. Shane out the ramp. Player out of Palace already as well. A-site plant will come through. And at this point, they should be trying to save. Frankie finally pounces, finding 1. Heiza offers some resistance, but it's paltry. Last alive, Beaky fares no better. Not a single kill for him. Only 1 falling in Dare, and that loss can easily be soaked up by the victory dollars for Badass. We're now looking well poised to tie it up at 11 apiece.
Yeah, that forced by a very odd risk for reason. And now they're going to pay the price. A tie ball game is that cost. A tie ball game that at this stage of the game, Reason can't really afford to let happen. I mean, they could have bought a full buy in this round. I guess it kind of sets them up for not having nothing with round 12, but oh boy. This has been one with a lot of twists and turns. There's that one street in San Francisco, Nate, the commonly accepted curviest street in the world. You know the one I'm talking about. Forget the name of it.
Probably.
But
I don't remember names.
That's what this is like. Holy cow, you're gonna stop. Just stop the bomb plant, man! That's the free kill!
What he wanted to. He wanted it all. 11 to 11 secured. Expected. Back to even footing. If someone sweeps these last 2 rounds, they'll have it in regulation. If someone fails to do so, we'll be going off to overtime on the deciding map of this series. Badass have the decidedly better buy. Reason will scrap together what they can, but it's going to be ugly. Not going to be pretty. 4 M4s and an op utility. It's better than I expected, but no kit means that they're going to be fighting to rebuke a take, not to retake.
A little bit of mid-aggression. Maybe we'll see some more fights before the minute mark has overlapped. Snav tosses the op to Consti. JDubs is up in ladder. So slow in the beginning to midpoints, where nothing really happens. It's not even an exchange of broadsides. Now we get an opener. Consti picks up 2. They keep fighting him, and he grabs the 3rd. Reminiscent of that 1v3 he had on Anubis around A site, Nate. Just one by one, they peak, and one by one they fall. Beaky here on CSG spawn goes down to the spray of Dare, all up to Grape alone.
Keep going.
There's no help for him to phone.
Bomb has been planted.
That's all I got.
That's a pretty good end. That's it. You know, I'll let you cut it off there. That was good. There's nothing you can say now. Grape is grasping at straws at the stage, just trying to save the gun and hoping that it will be a difference maker in the round following. But Badass appear to have turned a corner. Consti a 3K on the op, a convincing play towards the middle, and a very quick round, all things considered, given the odyssey that this series has been. They're closing in on him as well. Frankie from one side, Shane from the other.
He's dead.
Who's here?
He's not going to live. There's no way.
Comes the swing. Frankie finds it. That should seal the fate of this game, barring something crazy from Reason. Series point for Badass, 12 to 11. They have 1 chance to do it. And a tactical timeout goaded out from Reason. Good time to use it. But what can it really inform them of? What can it do to tip the scales in their favor?
Well, they're broke. So, that's a start. MP9 for Dane. Utility is plentiful, at least for him. I would expect a scout for Beaky here. Honestly, double scouted again. It might work. It worked before. Why can't it work now? They're going to go MP9s with an M4A1 on JDubs, though. Grape on a Deagle glass cannon. He drops that M4 over to JDubs. So that is the decision made by Reason. Their timeout used. This could be the last round of this game, or it could lead us to bonus Counter-Strike in round number 3. There is only one option. Well, two options. But there is one conclusion. A victor will be crowned before this match is over. A bomb was left in T-spawn, so Badass will go back to grab it, but it's not like anything important happens for the first minute of these rounds, so it's fine. They can meander about, take a stroll in the park, you know, maybe go grab some coffee, sit down on the bench, read a book or a newspaper, and then when they're ready,
12, can we
get
shake
back
hands
into it.
and just call it a tie?
Mutually agreed to draw. I wonder what that would do to the standings.
And nothing, they're both at the bottom.
I mean, that would actually... Man, I would hate to be Oso having to deal with that, because then he'd have to figure out a point system, and
This whole season has already been so much of confusion. Just trying, I'll be honest, like reading the who goes where at the end of this round robin is crazy as is.
yeah,
Trying to
first
figure it out with
two-
ties as well, like
Yeah.
no.
Unless you made into a point system. 3 points for a win, 1 point for a tie, and 0 points for a loss. That's the only way it
Yeah.
works. And then you go to like how EPL was back in the BO2 days.
You'd have to tie. There would be no option for overtime, and we bought enough time. A take finally coming through. A flank as well, also in effect for Hyza, and the spam to the smoke for JDubs starts things off, but Constantly quick on a trade, brings it back to even footing. Rights the ship for Badass as they now take control. 20 seconds left. Bomb plant will be attempted from Consti, but there's a
Hyza.
player CT spawn, and the flank from Hyza is it expected? It doesn't seem like it. One secured. Grape finds one as well, but Frankie trades the bomb plant going down. It's a 1v2 for Consti. Tech9 out, and he does not find it. The round's chaotic, it's tumultuous, but it does send us beyond the pale bogs. We are going to overtime.
The force buy works for Reason. It had to. There was no other option. They call their timeout. It starts with that nice little spam by JDubs, and then he ends it with a 3-piece on the round. Reason have brought it all the way back in 6-6, half number 2 as well. Extreme parity between these two teams as we are in overtime on map number 3, as dead even as it could possibly be. Buys up here, no double op from Reason, no double op from Badass as they are on the T side. That would be something I would never expect them to go for. They don't. Fast play towards A, perhaps, or they're just boosting the op up, but it'll see nothing on the cross. And a 3-stack to B from Reason. One up cat to watch in mid. Beaky boosted onto balcony, spots and shoots, but he does not connect. A very interesting change of pace to the start, which ends with the same mid-round lull.
Yes, it does. Back to what it's been. This time around, there's no hero flank coming in from Hyza. It's more stock standard from Reason. Cody poured in towards B. Not a commitment. Go players middle. 3 to be exact from Badass. Hyza slinking up catwalk. Getting some info at the very least. He'll get up the ladder towards the aptly named ladder room. They're paranoid about a flank after what transpired in the round prior.
There's a nice opening onto Hyza. Good little flash peek combo as B-side significantly weakened. Beaky's op needs to stand tall, and he only gets one on the first try. Takes another shot, but he is run down by Dare around the other side of the pillar. Bomb will be planted for Catwalk as a market rotation is in. One on the long apps. JDubs up on Catwalk. Grape out the window. Gets taken down. Consti falls. 3v2 to the favor of Badass. One spotted bench. JDubs taps without the kill. Shane is solo on site, and the nade will do him in. The spray, the Molotov, it's up to Dangerous. 1v1, and he falls to snav. He cannot get it all done. Badass escape with a lead here in the first round of the first half of first overtime. And well, they're going to be buys up from both teams for the entire half here, for all of overtime really, unless somebody wants to go double op. Reason have actually gone for something. Okay, never mind. I was going to say Reason have gone for something I've never seen, which is a team voluntarily going 5 rifles in overtime. Grape swaps to an op late. That's an interesting call. Grape did secondary op for a while. I believe it was back on third impact, and it works out with an opening kill onto Dare. No refrag yet. In fact, Consty's going to sit in some fire, and it's not toasty warm fire. It is, ouch, my flesh is burning fire.
Fire hot. Who would have guessed? Who would have thunk it?
Yeah, I know, right?
Shane. Honestly, he's lucky to be alive. Again, just the double backs, constant double backs from Badass Gaming. Still wanting to show presence. Bomb still slinking around in towards ramp. Still lurking about. Not right commitment. Where are the bulk of Reason? Jungle/A. We have a player on A site proper, a player in towards jungle. 2 that were in window are now falling back out. Constantly lets a shot ring out ramp.
Nice second from Grape as he's got the first 2 of this round, trying to bring things back for Reason, but Snav will trade on a Dangerous. JDubs, though, locks it down onto Frankie up Con. 2 players isolated as time dwindles lower and lower. JDubs can skirt around that molly, and he will get a kill on top of it. Shane on a 1v4, with no real opportunity here, no bomb. Well, he does the bomb, but no real way to get the bomb down, and will he die before or after? Before time. It's JDubs. Tied at 13 as we get to the last round of the first half of OT. It really is anyone's game right now, though, Nate, and it's been that way since we really kicked things off on Anubis.
Yes, it is. It's been a while. Honestly, given how this series has played out, there is no better end than overtime. I'd say it definitely fits the theme of today's series. One team, though, guaranteed to have an advantage going into the second half. That's just how 3-round overtimes work, or MR3 overtimes work, I should say. Boost up on Catwalk for Reason is the adjustment. A lot of mid-emphasis as well. Good nade from JDubs, but sticks around, double dips, and that is his undoing. The op of Consti posted finds the headshot. And that is an opening for Badass. The relatively early start of the round.
No refrag, no real attempt at one either. Dane will tuck into Con and play a 1-1, but Air will peek it right. However, he won't get the kill, and Dane's able to back away through that smoke, toss a nade for some more damage, and he'll take Snav down by 30. Not a bad way to get it back to a 4v4. Still in a great situation, and it gets even worse as Beaky peeks in the middle, does a lot of damage, but he's a glorified human nade, and he spends his life to do it. Grape on the op has another, but Dane has come to save the day with a second. Grape doubles up, makes it a hat trick, and that will be a 14-13 lead for Reason to bring this one into their favor on the map number 3 of Mirage. They only need 2 on this T side, Nate, but that might be like pulling teeth the way this game has been. It almost seems like OT2 is a guarantee, and I don't know. How much more will we get?
I should know you're counter jinxing it. I respect the play. It's meta at this stage. Caster's Curse. And there we go. You mentioned it. We have yet to see a team willfully forego the op in overtime, and Reason have. On this T side. Makes sense. The op of Consti, though, is ahead of the smoke. Heiza is caught because of it. An early start for Badass. Question is, what do Reason do now? Do they stall out? Do they wait? Or do they pivot around and go for a take elsewhere?
Mid now the control for Reason as they work their way around, looking for an entry point to a site. Molotov in, smoke out. Another molly, this time onto Cat. Shane, turtled up on default. 3 up Cat, or Con rather. 1 in Palace. Snav and CT. Nice peek from Shane, but he's got to be careful. Dink down, almost dead. In comes the Palace swing, and JDubs might just double it up. Never mind. Snav will hold the line. Beaky will trade that back into 3v3 territory, but Frankie's come through CT spawn, and he might just double it up. Dane into the clutch, and Beaky falls in the end. 14 all. We are tied up, Nate. Nothing separating these two teams. It's back and forth, one round to another, with neither team able to pull away from the opposition.
Both teams have a phobia of winning at this stage, I'm convinced.
I will agree with that.
And again, cracks are still showing. Despite Badass winning that round, Snav is spotting CT spawn and lets the player wide swing out of Palace and kill his teammate's firebox. I don't know how he was distracted. Maybe he was looking towards top stairs. Maybe he was otherwise engaged. But it seemed like he should have definitely had his teammates back in that situation. Shane, his turn to jump spot. A retake towards A and a stack towards A from Reason. They've made the right read. If they go for this take, it could yield a big round for them. Keep in mind, either team could win it in this first bout of overtime if they win the last 2 rounds in a row. And they do take the site well. Reason. They're going to push towards CT. Don't worry about Shane in the corner. Heiza will throw a flash. Shane will start out. They don't clear him. He finds 2. A third for Snav on the bait and switch. And Badass goad Reason into an ill-fated push. Constantly the penultimate, the last alive is not long for this world. He'll find 1. Beaky a conciliatory frag, but it's Badass to get the bag. 15-14, another series point for them. A chance to finally put Reason to bed.
A chance to win the map, which has been elusive, if not impossible, for either of these two sides on this map. Now, there's the op shot from Consti that starts things off. Well, they double peek him, and he gets another. Looking for a third, or will Reason find a counter? They're down by 2. Nade goes in. Doesn't do any damage, but the disadvantage for Reason is so hard to overcome at this stage of the game. Badass, if they get to 16, will claim victory. It's the old-fashioned Counter-Strike scoreline to win OT1. Only 3 alive for Reason with so much time. The double op kill from Consti out in middle may have just solidified things for Badass. The new opper for the team, taking the reins from Dare, may have just grabbed things by the horns and pulled them to victory. Today, telegraphed now from Reason as they're going to attempt to plant the bomb. The 5-man retake can do wonders for Badass if it even gets to that point. Shane's in a good spot to try and shut down a bomb plant.
He's gonna wait. Smart. It's planted front triple. Can't really do much with that, other than maybe get caught by Palace while spamming. It's measured. Could be a retake as a squad. Frankie on Catwalk. He has been a monster for this team throughout the series, but he can't open it up now. Instead, it's Dane to get the headshot to start things off. Still an advantage for Badass as they begin their retake now from CT. Spot comes in. Dane draws another, but Shane trades via Heiza. Player and connector still kicking. 2 in connector, in fact. Smoke thrown down in front to obscure the bomb for a defuse, and Shane taps away 1, hops on the bomb. Snav gets the second. It's done. 16-14. It took a while to get here, but it is Badass who pull off the reverse sweep and take the series.
It took them a while. It took them a little bit too long, perhaps. Took overtime, but they were able to sweep things over to the CT side. Well done from Consti to really heat up in that last round, too, and take control of things. Badass are able to get the job done, and they get another.